One, two. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning, and we welcome you to today's event in a media briefing format where the Premier of the province of Limpopo and the Acting National Commissioner of the SAPS will be briefing the media in the introduction of the newly appointed the delegation that is with the Premier National Commissioner. They are walking through. The MEC is in our midst. She will be walking in shortly so that we may be able to proceed with the program of the day. The Premier, yes, Premier, you may take your seat, Acting National Commissioner. Then, as soon as we receive the rest of the group, we'll continue. You see, the MEC is walking inside the venue. So, Honorable Premier, may I just take this opportunity then and commence with our program for today. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Major General Nongulego Pogane. I am the head of corporate communication in SAPS, and I will be directing today's proceedings. As I've indicated, that we are here this morning on this very important day in the province of Limpopo for the appointment and the announcement of the newly appointed provincial commissioner. Let me take this opportunity and welcome to this occasion the Honorable Premier of the province of Limpopo, Dr. Ramathuba, the Honorable MEC responsible for transport and community safety in Limpopo, MEC Matia, the Director General of the province, DG Chabeling, the Acting National Commissioner of the SAPS, Lieutenant General Puleng Dimpane, who is accompanied by Deputy National Commissioner responsible for policing in the Republic, Lieutenant General Musigidi, and Major General Govender, who is currently the Acting Divisional Commissioner responsible for human resources. We also have as part of the podium group, the provincial management, the head of department, Mr. Majena, and the acting provincial commissioner in the province, Major General Skiepes. The provincial management, district management, ladies and gentlemen, representative from organized labor in our midst, I would like to greet you all once again this morning and welcome you to this media briefing. We do apologize for a late start. There were just issues in the morning as far as the weather is concerned, but we are here now and we are ready to commence our program. Honorable Premier, it's a very short program, a ceremonial one in the SAPS in as far as the provincial commissioner appointments are concerned. The Honorable Premier, that on Wednesday we were in the Western Cape for the appointment of the provincial commissioner in the Western Cape. Yesterday we were in Northwest for the appointment of the provincial commissioner in the province. And this morning we are here in your province, Honorable Premier, in Limpopo. Later in the afternoon we are going to be in Mpumalanga for the same process of the appointment of 4 provincial commissioners at SAPS. And at this point in time, let me then allow Honorable Premier that we call on the podium the Acting National Commissioner of the SAPS, Lieutenant General Puleng Dimpane, to take us through the official media address for this morning in the announcement of the newly appointed provincial commissioner is concerned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Program Director, Major General Pogane, Limpopo Province, Dr. Phophi Ramathuba, responsible for transport and community safety, Ms. Violet Martina, Deputy National Commissioners who are present here today, skippers, provincial and district management, representatives from organized labor, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks more than an announcement of a new provincial commissioner. Today represents the strengthening of constitutional governance, accountable leadership, and the reaffirmation of our unwavering commitment to protecting every person who lives in the Republic of South Africa. Section 205 of the Constitution is unequivocal. It entrusts the South African Police Service with the responsibility to prevent, combat, and investigate crime, maintain public order, protect and secure the inhabitants of our country, and uphold and enforce the law. These are not merely legislative obligations, but constitutional responsibilities that demand capable, ethical, and decisive leadership at every level of our organization. Therefore, the appointment of provincial commissioners forms part of this constitutional architecture. It is a concurrent responsibility exercised in close consultation with provincial leadership, ensuring that national policing priorities are aligned with provincial crime realities and community expectations. Today's appointment reflects the maturity of our constitutional democracy and the strength of corporate governance. This appointment followed an extensive, transparent, and a consultative process involving all the prescribed constitutional and legislative authorities. Every stage of this process was guided by integrity, fairness, and merit, as well as accountability. Our objective was never simply to fill a vacancy, but our responsibility was to appoint a leader capable of commanding confidence, inspiring of our men and women in blue, strengthening partnerships with communities, and leading the fight against crime with courage, discipline, and operational excellence. We were searching for a leader who possesses the experience, credibility, operational competence, and moral authority required to lead one of South Africa's strategic important provinces. Ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce the newly appointed provincial commissioner, allow me to acknowledge and express our profound appreciation to the retired Lieutenant General Thembi Hadebe. Lieutenant General Hadebe leaves behind a remarkable and distinguished policing legacy in this province. She demonstrated that effective policing is driven by disciplined leadership, operational consistency, compassion, and accountability. She has undoubtedly raised the standard of policing leadership in the province of Limpopo and has left the organization stronger than she found it. Lieutenant General Hadebe, on behalf of the SAPS management, members, and the people of South Africa, we thank you for your exemplary leadership and your dedicated service. Ladies and gentlemen, while we celebrate these achievements, we remain fully conscious that significant challenges continue to confront this province. The scourge of rape and gender-based violence and femicide continues to devastate families and communities. Stock theft remains a serious economic threat, affecting rural livelihoods as well as agricultural sustainability. Murder, organized criminality, drug-related offenses, and violent crime continue to demand relentless operational responses. Furthermore, Limpopo occupies a unique strategic position as one of South Africa's important gateway provinces. Its extensive borders and transport corridors present opportunities for economic growth, but equally exposes this province to challenges associated with illegal immigration, transnational organized crime, illicit trafficking of vehicles, as well as cross-border criminal syndicates and other border-related offenses. These realities, Premier, require a provincial commissioner who understands both community policing and sophisticated operational policing. A leader who can integrate intelligence, technology, specialized policing capabilities, and community partnership into a single crime fighting strategy. Today, I am confident that we have appointed exactly such a leader. It therefore gives me great pleasure to announce the appointment of the Provincial Commissioner. Lieutenant General Jan Petrus Schiepers. Thank you very much. I will read. Thank you very much. Thank you. I have to conclude my remarks. I will repeat. It gives me great pleasure to announce the appointment of Lieutenant General Jan Petrus Skeppers as the Provincial Commissioner of Limpopo Province with effect from 1st August 2026, that is tomorrow. Lieutenant General Skeppers brings with him nearly 4 decades of dedicated service to South Africa. His public service journey began in the South African National Defence Force before joining the South African Police Service in 1988 after completing his police training at the Tshwane Police Academy. His career has been shaped through some of the country's most demanding policing environments. He served for 28 years in Gauteng province, where he developed extensive operational experience across community policing, visible policing, and specialized policing disciplines. He distinguished himself as a canine handler responsible for patrol and explosives detection dogs, demonstrating early in his career the operational discipline that would define his leadership. For 16 years, he successfully commanded police stations, serving diverse and often complex communities, including the Barrage, Didier, Annandale, Lenasia South, Everton, and Orange Farm. These are policing environments that require resilience, operational agility, and the ability to lead from the front. In 2013, he was promoted to brigadier and appointed station commander of Sebokeng Police Station before his promotion to a major general in 2016 as the district commissioner of Capricorn District. Soon after, he assumed his responsibility as the Deputy Provincial Commissioner responsible for policing in Limpopo, a role he has executed with distinction for almost a decade. His appointment therefore represents continuity, institutional memory, and leadership as well as stability. He understands the crime landscape, he understands the operational environments, and most importantly, he understands the people of Limpopo. Lieutenant General Skeppers, you have earned the confidence of communities, not through speeches, but through presence. You have won the respect of traditional leaders, village communities, and local stakeholders because you believe policing begins where people live. When you enter a village, you become part of that village. You listen, you engage, you understand local realities, and you respect traditional leadership, and you build trust. That humility, coupled with operational strength, has made you one of the most respected policing leaders in this province. Premier, the qualifications equally reflect a leader who's committed to lifelong learning. Lieutenant General Skeppers holds a national diploma in policing and a national diploma in theology and is a qualified hostage and suicide negotiator. These qualifications speak to both operational competence and servant leadership. They remind us that policing is about courage as well as compassion. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Skeppers assumes command at a crucial moment in the renewal of the South African Police Service. The SAPS reset agenda calls upon every commander to restore discipline, strengthen operational excellence, rebuild public trust, and place ethical leadership at the center of policing. As the provincial commissioner, he will be leading 106 police stations across Limpopo in advancing this organizational renewal. He's expected to strengthen intelligence-led policing, improve detective performance, intensify operations against violent crime, protect women and children, confront stock theft with agency, dismantle organized criminal syndicates, and strengthen border policing through integrated law enforcement partnerships. Equally important, he must continue to build relationships with communities because sustainable crime reduction cannot be achieved by police acting alone. The aggressive implementation of the integrated crime and violence prevention strategy will yield immediate visible results in crime fighting. The South African Police Service will continue to build these partnerships because public trust remains our greatest force multiplier. The appointment of Lieutenant General Skeepers also represents one of the finest examples of leadership succession planning. Having served as a Deputy Provincial Commissioner responsible for policing, subsequently acting as the Provincial Commissioner, and now appointed a Provincial Commissioner, this transition reflects organizational continuity, operational consistency, and responsible leadership development. The people of Limpopo are not only receiving someone unfamiliar with their challenges, they are receiving a leader who has already walked alongside with them. A leader who knows every district, who understands every policing cluster, and a leader who appreciates the complexity of rural policing, border security, organized crime, and community safety. In him, Premier Limpopo gains operational experience and also gains a pastor at heart and a commander's discipline and a police officer's unwavering commitment to justice. To Lieutenant General Skeepers, the responsibility you assume today is immense. Never lose sight of the constitutional oath you have taken to serve and protect the people of South Africa. On behalf of the South African Police Service, I congratulate you on your appointment. And I wish you every success as you assume command of Limpopo Province. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, senior officers, I wish to express our greatest gratitude to the Premier of Limpopo, Dr. Phophi Ramathuba, the MEC for Transport and Community Safety, Ms. Violet Matia, and the Limpopo government for their continued partnership and support for policing in accordance with the integrated crime and violence prevention strategy. Together, Premier, we will continue to reset this organization and restore public confidence. Ke a leboga.
Thank you very much to the Acting National Commissioner for having introduced formally the newly appointed Provincial Commissioner of Limpopo Province, Lieutenant General Skeepers. And once again, General, congratulations. At this point in time, Honorable Premier, I will request the Premier and the Acting National Commissioner just to come to this side of the podium stage with the newly appointed Provincial Commissioner to confer him with his new ranks. And we request General Governor just to assist with the ranks to the newly appointed. Is it? The photographers must just give us the pictures. Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable Premier. Thank you, Acting National Commissioner, for having confirmed the ranks of the newly appointed Provincial Commissioner. Premier, at this point in time, will request on behalf of the provincial government that the Premier takes the podium and give us her address this morning. Over to you, Premier. Dr. Ramathuba. Thank you very much.
Alala Limpopo, alala. Alala Limpopo, alala. Yes, thank you very much. Our program director, Major General Pogane, the acting national commissioner of the South African Police Services, Lieutenant General Dimpane, and also your delegation, the Deputy National Commissioner, Lieutenant General Musigiri, and also the Acting Deputy National Commissioner of Support Services, Lieutenant General Dr. Zulu, and Major General Governor. Let me also acknowledge the presence of our MEC for Transport and Community Safety, MEC Violet Mate, the Director General of the province, Ntate Chabeleng, and also the head of a department. I must also at the same time acknowledge the presence of all our district commissioners, and of course, members of the media, but not forgetting the members, men and women in blue. Today you can see I'm also a woman in blue. Ndimachero, Towel, Abushe, Slochil, Huyemor, good morning. Acting Commissioner, this is how we greet in Limpopo. Takes time. You must be prepared for another 10 to 20 minutes just for greetings. And we are used to that. But I must indicate that we are delighted to be here to join you in welcoming you, General Skeppers, to one of the highest ranks in the South African Police Services. We gather to make a significant milestone, not just for you as an individual, but for the entire province of Limpopo, as you officially take the reins as our new SAPS Provincial Commissioner. Stepping into this vanguard of leadership is never a gentle stroll through a sunlit meadow. It is a deliberate, it is a bruising ascent up a mountain of formidable gravity. To submit your shoulders to the weight of a higher rank, it's to willingly invite the tempest, knowing that the air grows thin and the path fractures beneath the feet of those who dare to guide. Yet, it is precisely within this deep and unforgiving climb that the ordinary is melted into the extraordinary. The summit does not merely offer a grander view, but it demands a grander soul, transforming every heavy step of sacrifice into a sacred stage where vision takes flight and legacy is carved into stone. True elevation is a fierce transformation, a crucible where comfort is battered for the boundless sky of possibility. This new mantle, you assume, is not a soft garment woven for ease, but a suit of armor forged in the fires of sleepless devotion and relentless trial. Do not look upon the jagged terrain ahead with anxiety, for the steepest cliff yield the most magnificent views of human potential. You have been summoned to this high altitude, not because the journey is effortless, but because your spirit possesses the rare architecture capable of turning daunting peaks into platforms of profound transformative opportunity. To be appointed to this high office is a monumental honor. but it is an even greater burden of responsibility. From this day forward, you are answerable to lives, the lives of our people, the livelihood, the safety of more than 6.5 million people who call Limpopo their beautiful home. Every child walking to school, Lieutenant General, every grandmother sitting in a home, and every single entrepreneur opening their shop doors relies directly on your vision and also on your strategy. Do not take this appointment lightly. The hopes of a whole province, the entire province, now rest squarely upon your shoulders to make Limpopo a safe haven for us. We must speak honestly today, Acting Commissioner. The South African Police Services has found itself in the public domain for many wrong reasons. Public trust has eroded due to stories of corruptions, the stories of syndicate operations, and also alleged underworld dealings that have stained the proud uniform of men and women in blue. But let me be clear, we are not here to judge you by the past public opinions or the actions of others before you even start with your work. We are here to support you as a provincial government. However, just remember to erase all those things that we read about the media. Will not just take this day of announcing you as our provincial commissioner, but you will need to work 3 times harder alongside your team to reclaim the trust of our communities. You see, the biggest challenge that you face today, I can see my DG is worried, or she's moving out of the script. Yo, what is she going to say now? Relax, relax, DG. Because he really asked me, these are police, stick, otherwise they will arrest you before you even finish. But we need to be honest. The biggest challenge that faces you is that you had, when your name was announced, there was no single negativity. I saw the day before when our communication team shared the statement from the South African Police Service that they are going to announce Limpopo Provincial Commissioner. Going to go through those comments. All those comments, hundreds of comments, were saying, we hope she give us our own scabbers. That's what they said. You can go and check on the Facebook. It's very rare. It's very rare these days that when we pronounce an appointment, you will find such overwhelming support. That tells you a lot about yourself. But that's also put a lot of pressure on you because you are starting there with those hopes. Please don't bring us down. We have delivered to what the people of this province have been asking for. Now it's up to you to make sure that we don't come and regret and apologize that we have made a mistake. Make us to walk tall, to be strong. It's women who are interviewing you who have said, we are appointing this man because we trusted what the people of Limpopo asked for and we've given them. So don't disappoint the people of Limpopo, especially the women and the children. You know, in our province, it takes a girl child 4 times chances to can be raped in their lifetime than to graduate. We want you to turn that. We want a girl child to can walk freely, go to school and come back without being worried that they can be raped, because the only way that we can defeat gender-based violence is when we arrest the culprits and there is successful prosecution. So we will work with you as government so that we can work together as a provincial government to make sure that indeed we make history and restore the public confidence on the men and women in blue through you. So don't disappoint us. So the big work begins. So true leadership, it's not about being feared, by your subordinates. Remember that. It is about leading with clear purpose and unwavering integrity. You are now a parent of this provincial team. A good parent does not have favorites amongst their children. They love them all equally. You must protect all of them and you must support all their growth because all of them are your children. They might not be good at this, but yours is to identify their strength and build on their strength. Don't focus on their weaknesses because all of us have got weaknesses in our lives. But you focus on their strength, you're going to make sure that you build a formidable team that will be able to help us to deal with this crime and corruption in our province. So be accessible, Provincial Commissioner. I know you of being accessible. I know you since even I was the MEC for Health in number of areas. Doesn't matter what time do I call you, you were able to answer your call. I'm not sure your family will forgive us to say now we've given you more even responsibility. So they must understand that that cell phone cannot be switched off, not because he want to do anything, but because he must be available for the 6.5 million people of this province who rely on him for their safety. So keep your door open and be ready to listen to all your subordinates because that's where the most valuable operational advice will come from. Be wise, for there will be those who bring gossips, especially those who are lazy. What they know is to come and shepe, commissioner this, commissioner that. Those dig deeper. People who come pray, commissioner, you look, hey, you're what, hey, those who polish your shoes are gunning for your downfall. Those who criticize you, analyze the criticism. If it's constructive, it's going to help to build you to go forward. Today I got you. I'm advising the generals. That's how interesting life is. So be wise, because of those, you must remember that they should not be moving to come to give you all this gossip. Rise above the noise and keep your inner circle anchored in the truth. So at the core of your mandate, it must be ethical leadership. What our government has stressed as part of the pillars of the seventh administration, it has always been ethical leadership. Integrity is not what you do when everybody is watching you. It is the choices you make in the quietest, in the darkest moments when no one is there. We challenge you today to turn Limpopo into a beacon of policing excellence, a place where other provinces will travel to benchmark their own anti-crime strategy. Let our success be their blueprint. We always set trends. So how dilo di change even now, kamuma policing, how dilo di change batho. We are happy, some of us. So as you fight this war on crime, remember that critics will emerge, sometimes from the very circle you consider as close to you. A wise leader does not seek revenge against critics, but a wise person uses criticism to correct his own course and build his own character. Let their words steal your resolve, not break your focus. Let the criminal underworld receive the message loud and clear today. Under your leadership, criminals must think twice before breaking the law in our province, Limpopo. While we have seen an encouraging drop in general murder cases, our hearts remain heavy with the rise of mob justice incidents. Communities must never feel they need to take the law into their hands. Because the reason why they take the law into their hands is that they don't see a police force that acts swiftly and justly. We must also aggressively confront the pledge of gender-based violence and femicide, rape, serial assaults, and commercial crimes that threaten our social fabric. Under your watch, let those horrors become a thing of the past. As the provincial government, we do not stand apart from you. We rally firmly behind you. We will provide the resources where possible and where needed. We will, most importantly, provide the political will. Even if you say it's 5 a.m., REA, operational Chanel, operational re-tshepeng, trust us. Those are our slogans. You ask us 5 in the morning, Premier, wake up, MEC, we will be there. We will show political direction so that you can see you are not in this war alone. We are at war here. We are fighting crimes. People must not think we are going to throw strawberries at them when they are throwing guns, when they are shooting. We are going to retaliate. We are going to fight. At least I'm not a police, I can say as I wish. But what we are trying to say is that we are here for you. And the unwavering structural support that you need to carry out this heavy responsibility, you are going to find it from personally from my office. And personally, I'm saying to you, if you continue fighting crime the way I know you to, be guaranteed my entire support. But if you start to show me some, you will be surprised when I no longer talk to you, and I will be calling directly the acting commissioner, Dimpan, and I will say, hey, I don't know, what have we done? But you continue to fight crime. I'm here to support you. Those who criticize you, those who want to attack you, I'll be your first line of defense, because you will be the first line of defending my people who voted for me. And when I campaigned, I said, vote for safety. What did I mean? I meant you will protect them. I'm not going to protect them. I don't have resources. It's you who's going to protect them. You protect them, you get my protection. Be rest assured, be guaranteed. To Bodimpane and your entire team, thank you very much. We really appreciate that you have delivered what the people of Limpopo are saying. You can see, you can't hide. When people are happy, they're happy. There might be one or two in their corners grumbling, but I was strong. For now, we are moving on. General Scrapers in the house, things can't change. We can't reverse. We have done it. The general has already handed over an announcement. So let's be strong. Those who really were looking forward to this position, I'm saying your chance will come. This is General Scrapers' opportunity. Let's support him. We will all win. When he wins, we all win. I'm saying to you, especially our district commissioners, without you, he's not going to deliver on what I've asked. And I can tell you, when we fight crime, all of us are going to be the beneficiaries. But if we don't, all of us are going to suffer. The challenge we're currently having, men and women in blue, is that South Africa will no longer have patriots. Patriots in terms of public servants, in terms of your police and all the other public servants. If we can change this attitude and be patriotic to our country and to our province, to say we are South Africans and we are going to defend our country with all what we have. I've never seen a country that its public servant lose patriotism compared to us here in South Africa. And men and women in blue, you are in the forefront. You can't sell your badge by just 100 or 2,000 rand for coke. Please, man, please. This badge of South African police services, it's much more worth than 2,000 rand. You can never put an amount of money on it. Even those 92 billions that I was telling others about that I'm worth, it's nothing compared to that badge. So you must be proud carrying this badge to say, this is the badge that I will defend with all that I can. We are in the process of renewing South African police services, and it's you who are going to help us to renew the police services. So go and support him and work. They'll come and learn in Limpopo. They will differ, they will say whatever, they will TikTok us in the beginning, but towards the end, they will come back and say, let's go and ask, how did Scapers and the team manage to get it right? I believe in you. I trust you. I know you are capable. We've given you a leader, the leader that must lead you. So let me wish all of you, especially you, General Scapers, the best in your new role as Limpopo South African Police Services Provincial Commissioner. Go out there, lead with honor, protect our people, and restore the pride of the blue uniform and the badge. I thank you. Ndoribo, na cancer, income, bayadai.
Wow, let's just another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to the Honorable Premier. And we may then take our seats. Thank you very much, Honorable Premier, for such an address from the heart. Throughout your address, we could read your heart, that you are speaking right from the bottom of your heart, and such a commitment and pledging of support to the newly appointed Provincial Commissioner will definitely deliver safer communities in this province, Honorable Premier, and also build business confidence. We thank you very much. General Skeppers, I'm about to call you to the podium, and Premier said something very significant on this podium to say the 6.5 million people of Limpopo, their safety is in your shoulders. You are not alone. The men and the women in blue of this province, they will give you the ultimate support that you need. At this point in time, members of the media, let's give the podium to the newly appointed Provincial Commissioner of Limpopo, Lieutenant General Skeppers, to give us his remarks. General.
Ladies and gentlemen, I greet you in the mighty name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, this morning. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of the Acting National Commissioner, Lieutenant General Dampane, the Deputy National Commissioner, Lieutenant General Musikidi, my number one citizen in the province, Premier Phophi Ramathuba, the MEC, May Violet Mathieu from the Department of Transport and Community Safety, the HOD, DG. Colleagues, this morning allow me to also acknowledge your presence and to acknowledge the presence of the whole of Limpopo, because I know they're watching. Let me first give glory to God, because it's the mercy of God and His blessings on my life and His favor that He is allowing me this morning to speak to you as the new Provincial Commissioner. Thank you, Lord. Secondly, I want to say to all the ladies panel that I had, because all of them were ladies, under the leadership of the Premier and the National Commissioner, thank you for trusting me with this huge responsibility. I could see the questions was compiled by ladies because it was difficult questions. But thank you for the opportunity and trusting me in this role. It's my commitment to support you with honesty, with dignity, and respect you. And I will do it in a disciplined manner. And I hope I will not, and I know that I will not, for your confidence. To my service, the generals, the brigadiers, every member in this province. Colleagues, this achievement, I couldn't have made it without you. I want to say thank you. It is your hard work and your commitment and your dedication that allowed me to become your Provincial Commissioner. I am very honored. I'm indebted to you forever. Now to the serious business. You heard the stories here about integrity management and discipline management and all the nice words. It starts not only with the leaders. It starts where the members of the community enter the police service, and that's in our CSCs. That's at the police station. We will never win the trust. It's a difficult time for us, but it's also a time of new opportunity. But we need to go back to stations and start with the constable there who's receiving that member of the public. Last night I was thinking and say, people do not trust the police. And they've got a right not to trust us. I think there's so many reasons for them not to trust us. But one of the reasons that they don't trust us is the way we treat them in our CSCs. It needs to change, and it will change under my leadership. Police stations must become a place of safety, a place of help, a place of support. Even in this time where they don't trust us, you'll find them at the police station. You must understand the desperation to run to somebody that they don't trust because they've got nowhere else to run. If we treat them with dignity and respect, we will win their trust again. The issue of members sitting in the CSC and not even standing up on their cell phones, eating, doing everything else, and not helping the community stops today. Corruption is the other thing that kills us. We have so many reports of members who are saying they arrested this undocumented person. Just around the corner, they stop and he's back on the street. Now, the days when a person in this country, because to be in this country illegal without documents is a crime. The day when our members look at them and see an ATM, a walking ATM, stops today. Because there's no way, colleagues, that we can fight crime. There's no way that we can win the community back to our side. There's no way that they will trust us again if we are not decisively dealing with corruption and with our members who's colluding with criminals. We cannot work with those who are working against us. My first instruction will be to the DPC crime detection. We will resource our anti-corruption unit today. Second instruction, because I got a lot of instructions, I must give some away as well. The second thing is, General Sabola, the DPC for support services. We need to have a very serious and a strong, dedicated team that deals with negative discipline. It is time that we change blue uniforms for orange ones. To those members who's willing to work hard, those people that are dedicated, those people that wear this badge and say, yeah, when I put this badge on, when you wake up in the morning, is to say, I'm the first servant. For you guys, we'll change this province. To the community outside there, I want to ask you, Retsepeng, trust us. We are going to change this province, but we cannot do it alone. Community participation, active community participation must take place. Those days where police sit on the one side and plan for their crime and not consulting the community stops today. They need to be part of us. We need to listen to them, hear what is their concerns. And then the other thing is, they need to see their boots on the ground. I was impressed. And here I must thank the Premier. Premier, it's true. When I called you 5 o'clock in the morning to say be on the parade ground, even though it was cold, there in Seshego, I'm not sure why I chose the coldest day in the morning, in the winter. The Premier was there. And that inspired me to say, if the number one citizen, if our Honorable Premier can be there 5 o'clock in the morning fighting crime, guys, there is no way that me and you can rest. There's no way. And I've seen through that operation, Premier, and I want to thank you for your support. MEC, you also there. Thank you for your support. I could see when people see police on the ground, when they see the boots on the ground, we didn't restore trust, but we gave them some hope. You can see on the social media, people has got a trust. They are willing to work with us. So communities, our traditional leadership, our CPFs, our community in blue patrollers, our rural safety, there's no way that companies can produce job opportunities for our people if we are not keeping them safe. There's no way that a policeman in this or a policewoman in this province can go to bed at night where there's people searching for their loved ones. We cannot be in bed. We can go and rest after we found the person. And then we just go and re-energize and we prepare ourselves for the next shift. That's all. So the big operations will continue. Retsepeng will be not only a slogan, but it will be the term that restore confidence from the community in us. Lastly, colleagues, it is a huge honor for me to serve you. You are dedicated people. There's no person that can do this alone. When criminals plan, they do not come alone. They come in a team. They are focused. And this morning I'm here to ask, let's work as a team. There's only one way for us. People are not going to just trust us. It is in my hands and in your hands. Let's be a team. Let's turn the ship around. to the community, we are going to change things. We've got all the base plans, we've got the base strategies. We can deal with illegal mining, we can deal with gender-based violence, we can deal with serious and violent crimes, we can deal with murder. We can deal with those who are selling liquor illegally. We can deal with those who are in this country illegally. The plans are there, the strategies is there. We do not have to reinvent the wheel. The only thing that we need to reinvent is our commitment to this community of Limpopo. May God be with us. I pray that God will give us wisdom and energy, and may God save and bless this province and her people in abundance. Kia laboa, I thank you.
Thank you once again, Lieutenant General Skippers, for your maiden address. That shows that there is a new sheriff in the province. And we've got no doubt, Honorable Premier, the province is in right hands. The call of the people have been answered, the prayers have been answered, and it's the support, the commitment that will make us all to go forward and be able to serve and protect the people of South Africa. Premier, you spoke profoundly, but the SAPS is in a process of advancing a national reset agenda for police. The acting national minister of police have spoken on it, the acting national commissioner also on it, the provincial commissioners, and in your address, you were very much central into that message. And with everything else that General Skeppel has said in this podium this morning, it shows that we are on the right track, restoring the trust that we need to restore from the people of this country, but more than anything else, to bring them at the center of crime fighting, because community participation in the fight against crime becomes very crucial. So at this point in time, we have heard the remarks from the acting national commissioner, the premier, and the newly appointed provincial commissioner of the province. At this point in time, members of the media, if there are any questions, we will probably take one round of questions and responses. We conclude the media briefing and probably offer individual requests that may come after the briefing, if there are any. I'm not seeing any hands. Oh, there is one, Premier. Two, they are coming very slowly, but two hands that we are going to take as questions, because it is a media briefing at the end of the day. Then let's just afford media that space to pose their questions, and we'll just take the responses after that. You'll introduce yourself and the media house that you are representing and pose your question accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and a very good morning to everyone. Congratulations to you, new Provincial Commissioner. You deserve it. My name is Katleho from SABC News. I just have a few questions. While we still remain a border province, and I've seen you at the border being on the ground, working alongside authorities, the Border Management Authority, we still have that huge problem of cross-border smuggling and all forms of border-related crimes. If you could just maybe, without revealing too much of SAPS secrets, take us into your confidence and perhaps inform us about any plans that you have currently, without, of course, revealing too much that may give away to. And the second question is, of course, on illegal mining. You also mentioned it on your speech just now. Cases are just sporadic, and especially in the Sekhukhune district, what are the plans there? And lastly, just from our side as members of the media, we just want to check your availability. We know you've got a media office, a spokesperson. Should we request to do interviews with you? Would that be okay? Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations again to Mr. Skippers. My name is Kokecho Sekwela, and I report for Polokwane Observer under Caxton newspapers. I just have two questions, and I think my first question will be direct to the acting national commissioner or anybody else who I think may be able to respond. And my question is, what is the reset agenda and what is it about? And then my second question is, what kind of support, it's directed to the provincial commissioner. What kind of support do you expect from the provincial government operationally, and in which avenues do you expect that support? Maybe if you can break it down for members of the media to understand, for them to be able to report it to the people. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Those are the two questions that will require responses. And Honorable Premier, I see that mostly they are operational, which I'll request then the Acting National Commissioner to take the podium and be able at least to assist with those responses together with the newly appointed PC. General, may I kindly request your good self, ma'am, to respond from there? Okay.
Okay.
Oh, General, there is a mic here, the media one, and it's in a tape. Yeah, it's mounted with tapes, Prim. If the responses can just be just for sound purposes as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There is one question that talks about what is the reset agenda all about. The reset agenda is about renewal. The reset agenda is about restoration. We do have pillars that drives this reset agenda. Colleagues, after 30 years of democracy, this particular institution is at the moment facing a lot of challenges. All of us are aware in terms of what is currently obtaining, the commissions, the ad hoc committee, and we take this moment as an opportunity for us to renew ourselves as an institution. We want to rebuild public confidence and public trust in policing. We want to ensure that the service that we provide to the communities, I think in most of our address, myself, the Premier, and the Provincial Commissioner, we touched on these pillars of the reset agenda. So it's about renewal. We want the community to trust us. We want to be your first line of defense, as it should. So somewhere within these 30 years, we appear to have lost our way. So it's about renewal, it's about restoration. There are pillars as well as priorities that the MINMEC has adopted 2 weeks ago when we convened with the MECs in terms of those priorities that are urgent for us to be able to bring confidence. We are troubled by organized crime. Those are the issues that are keeping us busy at this point in time. Issues of GBVF, issues of illegal mining, issues of professionalism. I think the Provincial Commissioner touched on all the right notes. Those things are not negotiable. We are not going to negotiate professionalism. We are not going to negotiate issues of integrity as well as ethical conduct and ethical leadership. And we call upon the communities to give us information, to report bad behavior by our members. And I call the Provincial Commissioner to act with agency to any police official who is caught to have conducted themselves in an unbecoming behavior. I call on all the stakeholders, organized labor, that we renew this organization and we build this trust. So reset agenda is about renewing ourselves as well as restoring the dignity of this organization. Thank you.
SABC, I'm working with you for a long time. Ne? Now, I'm only 3 minutes in the post and you asked me a difficult question. I just want to add on what the Acting National Commissioner said. Acting National Commissioner, there's two things in the reset agenda that is close to my heart. The first one is organizational discipline. The second one is operational excellence. And operational excellence is my starting point when we look at our border. It's a porous border, we know. But we cannot fight this fight alone on the border. And I'm very thankful for all the other departments in our government. You will see even during Operation Retsepeng, you will see Home Affairs, SARS, Labour, everybody is there. So it is a whole of government approach. It's not only SAPS. So the plans for the border is exactly that. Together with BMA, together with the farmers who's living there on the border, we are all going to sit down and see what we do have plans in place. We've already have deployment there, but to see how we can better our performance. The second question from Polokwane Observer was, what do I want? What support do I want from the executive? leadership in the province. I want the executive province, and that includes all political parties. I want to state clear today, I'm not standing for one party. If you want to see a mess in this country, appoint me to be a political leader. I will mess up everything because I don't understand politics. I understand policing. So I'm not here in favor of any, but everybody is welcome, not only the executive leadership, to come and criticize us, to come and advise us. We don't have all the answers, but together we will definitely have all the answers. So that's what I want from our local government, to support us, to be on the ground with us, to give leadership and to give advice and correct us where we're going wrong. We are open for positive criticism. You know, sometimes if you are in a position, you think you do the right thing, and other people from the outside see, no, but here's things going wrong. And we want that criticism. One of the first beliefs that I'm having is we will not judge ourselves as the police service. We are going to allow our executive management and our community to judge us. Only when they say they feel safe and they are safe, only then will we go and rest. I thank you. I hope I've touched on both questions. Thank you.
Thank you for the responses, Acting National Commissioner and Lieutenant General Skeppers. I think at this point in time, Premier, we can safely conclude this media briefing. But General Skeppers is saying something very important when he is encouraging the community, not necessarily to judge us. I think of importance is the feedback that is needed. And that's what the management of the SAPS is actually striving towards, to say there is a rate our service project that we are currently revamping, so that that particular pillar becomes the one that will be the most active tool for the feedback to come constantly from station level to management, to be able to respond accordingly on what the communities are requiring from us at the SAPS. And on that point, Honorable Premier, MEC, Acting National Commissioner, Deputy National Commissioner, the Provincial Commissioner of the province, DG and HOD, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to conclude this media briefing for this morning, and may we all have a blessed day further. The media briefing is adjourned. God bless you.